Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, classic, less known classics. This is episode number 2711 and Doubleshot number 2605. First up, we're discussing Batman Silver Age Omnibus Volume 1. Surprisingly, there's not a paperback version of this thing released, just an omnibus. This book collected issues 233, well, the Batman stories from 233 to 257, and basically, probably anyways, the entirety of issues Batman 101 to 116. Now, I'm also going to, let me briefly discuss here now, from 233 up until, now, there's also a backup feature this one. Now, there is March Manor as either the second and third story in these issues, but there is one feature I want to briefly discuss here, and that's Roy Raymond, TV detective. Yes, he has his regular feature here, and mostly it's him versus like randoms, like various criminals. There's one issue where he fights up against aliens from the fourth dimension. But aside from that, there's not a lot of really noteworthy stuff related to Roy Raymond. I will bring up the fact Roy Raymond is here, but there's not really a lot to discuss. It's just him and his secretary just dealing with TV criminals. That's kind of basically what goes on here. Now, there is a few firsts here, per se. Yes. First up we have is from Detective Comics 233. As you can tell, it's the debut of Batwoman. You think, wait, is this Kate Kane making her first appearance in the Silver Age? Yes and no. Okay, her first name is Kate, but it's actually Kathy. Kathy Kane. This is basically, this was retconned to be the modern-day Batwoman's aunt. Yes, her aunt. Of course, this Batwoman is straight, while Kate Kane is a lesbian. And another big difference between them, Kathy Kane is raven-haired, while Kate Kane is a redhead. And also, they established in New 52 that the Kanes are basically part of the Bruce Wayne family. The Wayne family, well, because Martha's maiden name is Kane. Now, why the Kane name, you might ask? Because one of the co-creators of Batman is Bob Kane. That's why the name Kane is here. Now, before I talk about the story itself, why was this woman created? To dispel a false rumor about Batman and Robin. You see, those of you who don't know about this, I've heard about this in previous documentaries and various creators talking about this. A stupid psychiatrist who was the writer of Seduction of the Innocent. Yes, that's not just the name of a comic about Dynamite. There was an actual comic. There was an actual book called that about a war. I think it's like Frederick War. I think his name is. Who kept going on the soapbox preaching the fact comic books are bad, that make people go insane, and make people commit crimes. And do you know what Stan Lee's response was? He was full of bullcrap. Lots of bullcrap. Because he's a psychiatrist, and that's what you should be doing. Not preaching an anti-comic thing. And because of this, his ranting, basically there was a government investigation into comics, which led to the creation of the Comic Code Authority. And what was the stupid rumor about Batman and Robin at this point in time? You know what the rumor was? The fact that Batman and Robin were in a homosexual relationship with each other. Yes, they created Batwoman to dispel that rumor. A rumor, I should point out, though, was complete bullcrap. This book is her debut. This first of 4 comics she appears in. She also appears in Batman number 105, Detective Comics 449, and I think it was like Batman 113, I think it was. So basically, that's what this issue was noteworthy for. Her debut appearance. It's her basically following side crime with, of course, she has her own Batwoman cave. She has her own Bat cave with a portrait. And of course, Batman finds out she is Kate Kane. So she has to retire because Batman found out who she is, and because of the fact she's a woman in the 50s, they have to be stuck at home raising all the kids instead of basically helping out. Yes, I should point out that a lot of dialogue in this book is 50s sexism. Yes, and she retired until she came on retirement issue 105 of Batman to participate in some costume party. That's one of the stories published in it. She's like, I miss being a crime fighter, but I promised to. And the reason why is not just because Batman found out who she is, but if criminals found out who she is, she had retired. She comes out of retirement, helps Batman find some criminals in 249. Batman is framed is put in prison. And of course, for Batman have Robin help him get Batwoman. Yep, get Batwoman. And it turns out that the whole thing was a scheme set by Batman and Commissioner Gordon to go after, well, a guy called the Collector. And that's really the whole gist of the story. The other one is like Batman, like similar to this story here. They also apparently after this story kept a portrait that Batwoman has. I'm like, man, like, maybe you should retire. He's like, I would have retired if you said my name, but they're coming to interrupt you. He's like, damn, I got to keep you around because I couldn't say your name. And that's those 4 issues in a nutshell. Yes. But in the case of the other issues of basically these books, like, is there any noteworthy ones? Oh, heck yes, there is. My gosh, there is. But that's basically the... Oh, by the way, issue 33 is also the debut of the Bat Cycle. Yep, the Bat Cycle makes its debut in this very issue. Though it's driven by Kathy Kane. But still. In issue 234, Batman and Robin get amnesia from one issue. Yep. And 235, this is a very noteworthy one where basically Batman fights against criminals who supposedly, basically, how should I put this, who possibly arranged to have the Waynes get killed. So you have Batman put on his father's costume, which was later destroyed in a later story. This was the first appearance of this very costume. And of course, this costume will pop up again in Batman 255, where it was destroyed. Yeah, they basically melted the costume, but it was brought back for some issues of Grant Morrison for Batman. And also Legends of Batman. Yeah, apparently also, get this. At one point, Dr. Hurt wore this costume. Yep. Oh, by the way, the gangster for this issue is Low Maxon. Batman finds him and gets killed off in this issue. You might be thinking, does this guy appear again? Well, he also has already Mallory Maxon. Yeah, she becomes a very brief love interest of Batman in Ed Brubaker's run for Batman. Yes. Where she appears briefly in those issues, an issue of Legend of Dark Knight, and an issue of Nightwing, and that was it for him. As for her father, however, he didn't do very much. Like, after his debut issue, he would return for those issues, and he got killed off in the 12th Adventure. Yep. And with issue 236, we have Batman driving a bat tank. Yep, a frickin' bat tank. Yes, because of course he will. Yeah, by the way, there's no writer credit for this one. It's all artists. Shelley basically Bob Kane Ghost for this thing. We have supposedly Batman and Robin get disagreements to search for new Robin for 237. In 238, is Batman go through like 3 doors, hide disaster, and fight a criminal as checkmate. And no, it's not the organization checkmate, just a criminal. In 239, Batman fights a robot. You think, wait, Robot Double Batman? That seems familiar. Was this kind of in a way loose adaptive for Heart of Steel? Kind of was. Actually, the sequel story mostly. Yes. Yeah. And then we have Outlaw Batman, where it's like accused of loot and using a lie detector. And then we come 241. Oh boy, this thing. Oh my gosh, this is a hilarious issue. Yeah. Okay, 241. Let me show the cover of this damn thing because it is hilarious. Like, this comic in particular is infamous. Why? Because it's Batman and his rainbow costumes. Yep, that's why this issue is infamous. For it's like, yeah, each costume for different nights, only one time, and it is also popped up in a Sugar and Spike story for Legend of Tomorrow. It's a funny issue. Also, Evan Hamilton wrote this one in 242, where Batcave is held as a this criminal's base operations very briefly for like one issue. And that was it. Yeah, now and we have Batman the Giant. Yes, Batman is briefly turned into a giant for an issue. And then we have, we gotta get the 100 Batarangs, the Batarang X, which appears only for this one story. In 245, take on the Mystery Man, who was revealed to be Commissioner Gordon. Yep. In 246, you have Batman facing Knights. Bill Finger wrote that story. Yep, Bill Finger's back writing these issues. Yeah, in case you're curious, so how much of these issues did he write? Yeah, for some reason he wasn't exactly credit a lot of these issues per se. Because of Bob Kane being a jerk. Yes. Oh, by the way, if that man she's collecting this book here, he would do 101 to basically like 105, 107, 108, 110 to 116. He did all but by a couple issues. But for Detective, Detective Comics, he did do the opening story for Batman. Yes, they do credit for that one. But as the issue was in his trade, not much. He did credit for 235, 244, 246 to 249, 255, 256, 259, 270, 60. Well, actually 56 will stop there. But that's as far as they credited for. Yeah, it's about it's basically 247's debut of a character who was very infamous in the Batman animated series, Professor Milo. Yes. That makes his debut in this issue. Yeah, very much like a minor recurring villain, but, well, if you're a fan of Batman the Animated Series, this is where he first showed up. Bill Finger created this guy. 248, Batman on the road in 8 days. This is basically Batman traveling around the world in one issue. Dick Spring did some of the artwork of these issues. And I've already discussed 249 already because that's basically just, that one, so I just at the beginning of this. 250, Batman Super Anime. Just basically it's Batman dealing with criminals who basically hands alien technology. And then we come to 251, a very infamous issue where Batman deals with aliens. Okay, there is an explanation for this. Apparently, some people at DC Comics really wanted Batman to copy Superman so badly that we have to have him by aliens every issue and do like weird stuff. Like here's another one, 252, fighting the creature from the Green Lagoon. Yes, finding a monster like this, like he's freaking Superman. 253 is the debut of a group of villains who, I should point out though, did appear in one of the one person credited as one of the worst episodes of the entire series, the Terrible Trio, made up of Fox, Vulture, and Shark. Presently, two of these people are dead, and Shark basically, like, oh, he claimed basically faked death. Like, oh yeah, I got these humongous teeth. Like he's a freaking shark. Yes. That is the weird thing about the Shark. The Terrible Trio is basically a group of bored rich guys who think they can rob basically criminals. After this issue, they will be returning in 321. 119 of Batman was discussed another time. Here a few times. Of course, Shark will also appear for issues of Dark Knight. The Terrible Trio themselves, they're pretty much dead. Like, basically. Like, Fox, meanwhile, he got killed off in 832. Yep. Yeah. But that's what 253 is nobody for it. Done by Dave Wood. You're thinking, who the heck is Dave Wood? Not a really big name writer. First comic he worked on was Danger Number 5. You're like, what the heck is that? I honestly don't have any idea because I had never read it. He wrote some issues of Batman. He just wrote basically 110 in this trade. Yep. As for Detective, well, he did 234, 235, 238, 244, 248, 249, 250, 52, 53, 54, and that's it. Basically, he created the villains Mr. Freeze, Doc Double X, and the Terrible Trio. And we have a Ace the Bat Hound story. Helps Batman take out some scientists. In 255, it's basically Batman at Dinosaur Island. Yeah, and I've heard that the Mechanicon Dinosaur appears in the story. It's not the one that appears in the Batcave, it was a different one. Then we have the Captive Planet. So yeah, an issue where Batman deals with aliens. Whatever. And then we have another issue Batman deals with aliens. Batman's invincible foe. A time traveler. Okay. So it's like some pretty interesting ones, but my gosh, some of these issues are just like, the whole thing about time travel just doesn't seem like very good, does it? No, it doesn't. They have 101, Batman just, well, Batman vanishes. Takes on, there was also a guy called Crime Smith who appears in the issue. That was the opening story here. Second story goes Six Strange Sleuths. Just basically group of people help out Batman for a story. The Great Cape Hunt. Yeah, the thing with this one is that the whole thing of the cape falling off. Yeah, the weird thing about this one is that Batman's axe cape was being cleaned, so he had to take a trophy cape, and he had the people with disguise. That was a funny issue. 102, The House of Batman. Just basically Batman's Museum, and then we have Batman Babylon's time traveling issue, and then basically deal with the caveman. You're like, okay. Then 103, it's Ace Bat-Hound story. Of course, you have the League of Ex-Convicts. That's the second story in the book. First story is basically the broken Batman trophies. Yeah, someone's breaking the trophies in the Batcave. Yeah. Yeah, talking about these issues is like, wow, Nick does not really like discussing these issues. Kind of not. Well, then we have in 104, yeah, Batman faces off against apparently the creature from 10,000 Fathoms. You're thinking, what? Yes, seriously. They had Robin's 50 Batman partners? The man who knew Batman's secret? Okay. Batman will appear for the opening story 105, 106. It's someone trying to replace Robin. The Bat Missile, where we have appearance by the Batmobile the future with this one. (106) is basically first is like Batman's Secret Helper. Just artist storms of Gotham City. It's all about dealing with a hurricane. The Puppet Batman, it's basically two guys trying to figure out who Batman really is, but not really anything noteworthy there. And then we have where the boy who adopted Batman, yes, Robin fell in love with the one named Very Lovely. Grown Up Boy Wonder, yeah, this is a brief story of basically where Rob became Owlman for an issue. Yep. Yes, he did. No, it's not the same as the Earth 3 Batman, but still. For issue 108, the Bat Quiz. Fantastic Quiz. Prisons the Batcave. Yeah, people trapped in the Batcave. Okay, and then basically 108 has the debut of a character who, I kid you not, his name is Batman Jones. Yep. Seriously. Oh, by the way, Batman Jones did return after this one issue in modern day. And his first appearance was in Batman Battle for the Cowl #3. He was basically the expert on Batman. All because his name is Batman. He appeared for this issue. He appeared in, well, basically a reprint book. He also appeared for New 52. It's like, yeah, so if you're curious about Batman Jones who appeared in Battle for the Cowl, well, this is the comic basically where he made his debut in. Yeah, about a kid and his name Batman. You're thinking, okay, interesting. Oh, it does get weirder. Oh gosh, yes. And then 109 basically have 3 crimes against Batman. Follow the Batman and 1001 Adventures of Batman. 3 crimes against Batman. It's just Bat single stuff. Follow the Batman. It just not a lot here for these. There's not really a lot of worth stuff for this one. Moving on to 110. Crime of the Month Club, where it features the Joker. By the way, Vicky Vale featured a lot of these issues. You have Batman's Secret Butler, and then Batman a Ghost for an issue. Okay. Move on to 111. Oh yeah, this is where Batman puts on the Arm Batman story. Is basically Batman putting on a suit of armor for an issue. You have Batman going to safari. And the first second was the other Bruce Wayne. Yes, there's another guy in Gotham City named Bruce Wayne. And here's the weird thing. He is Bruce Wayne's cousin. And people think he's the millionaire Bruce Wayne. No, he's just a private eye. 112. Opening story's first appearance of one of the most frequent. This is by far a goofy C-list villain known as a Single Man. Yep, this is basically the guy's debut. He also at one point was known as the Blue Bowman. And his name is Philip Cobb. You're thinking, wait, Philip Cobb? That kind of seems familiar. Well, he did return for post Flashpoint, like after the credits, he disappeared for years. And by the way, the guy is still around. Yeah, basically Jeff Johns brought this guy in. The whole thing with this guy is that he tries to steal the bat signal. Yeah, the whole Blue Bone things when he fought Green Arrow. Then we have Batman time traveling, and then I Am Really Batman, which is kind of featured Professor Milo. But oh boy, here comes 113. Alright. So in the case of basically 113, the opening story features the debut of Falseface, a character who also appeared in the 60s show, who's made occasional appearances. As a matter of fact, he made his first post-Flash appearance in issue of Harley Quinn. The second story features Batman, a guy called Fat Man, a comedian who loves Batman. And he appears for this one issue. You would think, does he appear again? Kind of does. Well, not really. He only appears for this one issue, and that's pretty much it. He's just a comedian who basically knows, basically a fan of Batman. And then comes a very infamous issue of Batman. Very infamous story. A story that was, no joke, actually adapted for Batman Brave and the Bold. It is called the Batman the Superman of Planet X. Where, here's the premise. You're thinking, yeah, they basically adapted the story of Batman animated series. And yeah. So Batman basically flying back in the Batplane where he's summoned to the planet Zur-En-Arrh, where he beats the Batman of Zur-En-Arrh. You're thinking, wait a minute. I know this costume. Didn't Grant Morrison have this be an ultimate personality of Batman R.I.P.? He did. Basically, Grant Morrison is in love with the Silver Age. He loved the Silver Age so much, he brought this back. And he, for Zardesky, brought this guy back. Where he's like an ultimate personality of Batman, and this guy created Failsafe. You know, the robot that was the main antagonist of Zardesky's first story arc, who is basically also one of the many villains of absolute power. Yep. So he summoned Batman to his plane to help him out. He gets superpowers. And he goes back to Earth, and Batman Zur-En-Arrh, this one is never mentioned ever again in comics. Yep. And as for the remaining 3 issues in here, we have a Bat Ape. Yep. The Secret of Mechanical City. It's just mechanical area of Gotham. 114 is the debut of a guy called the Mirage Maker. Yeah, this illusion expert who appears in this one issue. You're thinking, okay. 115. Batman Battle. More Superman ripoff. Batman for Hire. There is also Batman Without a Case. Okay. And then we have, well, Batwoman, who appears in the second story. The opening story is basically Bat meeting the people of popular myth. Second story I've already discussed already. Third story is Bat meeting the Queen of Winning People, and of course the Queen mistaken part of her people. And that's pretty much it. There's been no more stories here. Would I recommend checking this out? It's up to you, but I would check and get this trade purely for seeing Batman of Zur-En-Arrh. Yep. I'm going to give the book roughly a 8 out of 10. Not a lot of really notice of this one. Next up we have is Batman some stuff of Batman and Legend of Dark Knight. We have Batman Other Realms. I think it is. Yes, Other Realms. Which are collected issues from Batman Legend of Dark Knight issue 35, 36, and 76, 78. I'm also going to be discussing from the main Batman Legend of Dark Knight issues 44, 49, issue 51, and annuals 3 and 4. 35 and 36 is a two-parter known as Destiny. Basic creativity was Mark Neese and Bob Hampton. It's Batman going to other stuff. Love the artwork though. But there's not really know what these separately these two issues. Okay, but skipping straight to issue 44. '44 and 45 is known as Turf. It's a quick two-parter. It's written by Stephen Grant, artwork by Sean McManus. It's just Batman fighting criminals. Now, 46 to 49 is a four-parter known as Heat. This also featured, kind of in a way, the first post-Crisis appearance of Catman, aka Thomas Blake, where in this book he's not technically called Catman, he just refers as the Black Cat Killer, where he's killing random women throughout this whole storyline, and there's like a heat wave going on, and there is suspicion that this guy might be black under his suit, and the mayor of Gotham calls him Captain Gordon. Yes. And, like, the fact that he dared try to erase that shoot, Gordon punches him, and of course, well, the mayor says, "You're fired," and then eventually retracts it. He's like, "You're not making police commissioner." He's like, Not your administration. Knowing the fact that he will be out of office soon, he's like, good thing there's an election going on. And then Batman, by the way, Catwoman knows that Batman really needs a partner. So you could say this is kind of basically a early idea of a story where Batman needs a partner. He teams with Catwoman in the story where she's wearing a purple suit, that kind of suit she wears over in her main book. And by the way, the book is written by Doug Moak. Yep. The artwork here is done by Russ Heath. Really good job. Who also has the cover art too for this story. But you find out that the Catman is in fact Thomas Blake. It is weird comparing him to basically, he doesn't wear his traditional costume like you know he does. Yeah, I'm not really sure why. He's always talking about his mom a lot. Yeah. But what about 51? Well, I gotta admit, the Heat, I'm surprised this is not collected in trade, because it's just a really good story. Heat is a story done by Robert or Fleming, or it features parents about team with Ragman for an issue. Yes. Yeah, and this would be, I think, not the only issue he would write for Legends of Dark Knight. Actually, this would be, yes. But we're not done yet. We're not going to get to those issues. Well, as for the other issues, per se, before we talk about the annuals. The Sleeping, at 76, 78 here. This is a three-parter written and drawn by Scott Hampton. It is just Batman like a dream sequence for a few issues. The best thing about this storyline is the artwork. I love the art by Scott Hampton. Yes. But how about the annuals? Excuse me. And number 3 is a Bloodlines issue. Yes. Where you have first appearance of Cardinal Sin the Samaritan. Yes. This annual was written by Daniel O'Neill, art by Mike Manny, Luke McDonald, Gary Mortar, Richard Vergan. And that's pretty much it. Yes. A storyline Chuck Dixon did not understand at all. Mainly put, the storyline is that every single new character gets the same exact backstory. They got bitten by alien but became a new superhero. And with the exception of Hitman, none of them do anything at all. Cardinal Sin. By the way, the Batman story, it's basically, it's Jean Paul Valley. Yes. Now, these two guys never appeared again after this issue. Nope. Yeah. Issue 4 is a Citizen Wayne story where it's set in, I think it's set during Prohibition. Yeah. That's the whole point of the Citizen Kane thing, which is written by Mark Waid and Brian Augustine. Joe Staton does the artwork here. It's really, really good. And also, Batman is not Bruce Wayne. It's Harvey Dent. Yes. Yeah, where he's like very famous, but he's not really a main character here. But damn, just a really good story here. It's kind of like, what if he was active active in Prohibition? He was. Just an alternate reality, but that's really fun little Earth. What it is. Surprisingly, this Earth only appears once. Yeah, it only appears just this one story. They would, in fact, revisit this Earth in an issue of Batman Chronicles as a kind of sequel to this. But that's pretty much it. The issue itself is... I found this issue really good. I found a lot better than Animal 3. Yep. And if you're curious, how many more annuals do you have left to go? Well, for annuals themselves, we have exactly 3 left. But I would say for the issues themselves, 35-36 is pretty interesting, but probably the best thing about these issues is the artwork. 43 and 44, 45, okay, 2-parter. 46-40 is an excellent 4-parter. 51 is interesting, and then the Sleepy thing is really interesting at best. I'm gonna give this book here. I'm gonna give the 3rd annual. I love the artwork. Not a fan of the story. I give the annual a 8 out of 10. And number 4, a 9 out of 10. And the issues themselves, well, I give the Heat Wave, I give that a 9.5, because that was a really good story. Nothing really bad with that one, per se. No. I would say probably the weakest story of all of these is probably Turf War. I give that one 8. But as for the 35-36, give that a 8.5. Sleeping, also 8.5. Best thing with those 2 stories is the artwork. Okay, so that's pretty much a particular view. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and do the dislike button. Next up is Blue Exorcist. Actually, no, Case Close. Okay, next video. Bye.